I think on my channel, I've been pretty clear about two things. Number one, I'm a big fan of collector editions. And number two, I am not a big fan of GameStop. Despite all of the promises of the GameStop restructuring and reorganization and the promise of making their stores more interactive and the promise of trying to not be corporate weasels, they clearly got it wrong here once again. This article comes via videogamechronicle.com. Although I will say I did first hear about it from a man, Wario64, since I do follow him on Twitter. It goes a little something like this. GameStop is canceling all the in-store Resident Evil 4 Collector Edition pre-orders. So if you were a huge fan of Resident Evil 4, which I think like everybody and their mother was, right? And you wanted to get your hands on this sweet collector edition. Well, unfortunately, if you went into GameStop to physically put money towards it, I think they charge like $5 or $10 as a placeholder. Too bad, so sad. GameStop is closing all of their pre-orders. Now, if you bought it online, you should be in good shape. But for the people who went in the store, well, unfortunately, it's not going to work out. There's been a lot of different people who've come forward, different customers who have come forward. I can't confirm nor deny the validity of these particular claims, but I called my local GameStop, and the associate informed me that all orders have been canceled across the board in store, and apparently people are trying to get more information. Our good friends over at GameStop, of course, have been quiet about this. This is what frustrates me, is you have a very hot collector edition in a very hot game. And for some bizarre reason, a lot of vendors like to do exclusives via store. This happened a lot during the amiibo craze. Recall that certain amiibos were only available at certain stores. Certain collector editions are only available at certain stores. You see this all the time with steelbooks. Best Buy gets an exclusive steelbook that Target doesn't get, or Walmart gets something that another vendor doesn't get. Recall also back in a time when Ubisoft would release various missions for games based on the store. Do you remember that? I actually still have my copy of Assassin's Creed Black Flag with a giant banner across the top in the actual box art of the game, not like a sticker or anything, but actually the pamphlet insert inside the plastic case that mentions a Target exclusive mission. So this is not a new thing when it comes to these exclusives and these things where people are coming out and saying, hey, you have to buy from me. And look, I get it. I understand how capitalism works. I understand that GameStop probably paid a pretty good chunk of change to Capcom to earn that exclusivity. However, it's a real disservice for a lot of gamers who, like me, really look forward to collector editions and have made a hobby of collecting said collector editions. There are certain games that I am very, very looking forward to getting and unboxing and displaying collector editions for some games that I just know are going to be good, or for franchises that seem to be, more than what appears to be. God of War is a perfect example. When the first God of War came out, I knew that was going to be one of the hottest collector editions in the planet. Turns out God of War was one of the best games ever made. And every time I look at that collector edition, I see that really cool statue, I think of how the fond memories I had of that. And that's just nostalgia for a collector. So the fact that GameStop is, kind of cutting out people who did this, it's a shame. I don't understand why they can't make the problem right. I don't understand why it's on the kind of the consumer to self-report. I didn't see anything formal come out from GameStop on this. The fact that this thing isn't even out yet is shocking to me, that they can't just go back and say, hey, print more pieces of plastic. I understand with the way the world is and the logistics of getting anything anywhere, it may be slightly delayed. This happened to me numerous times. I remember the Mortal Kombat Collector Edition for Mortal Kombat X. I went to Best Buy to get it, and it wasn't available. I had bought so many collector editions. The store manager actually gave me a copy of Mortal Kombat X and said, just go home and play the game so you have something to do. And then I'll call you when the collector edition comes in. Very extreme, rare case. I get it. I bought a lot of stuff from them. So I think they probably, it wasn't like I introduced myself like, well, hello there. My name's Jim and I'm here for, but like I was such a common name and so many games were coming out. It seemed like my wife and I were going there like every week. I'm not saying GameStop has to go to that level of customer support or customer service, but I feel like the resolution of this, which was basically them saying, hey, we'll give you a $10 credit. And this $10 credit is just going to basically, be used to buy another game or a discount towards this existing game. Doesn't really seem like it's a service to the fans. And, for the people who like sitting on their computers, the keyboard cowboys like me, spamming F5, keeping an eye out, have all these alerts going, trying to be able to get a copy of this thing, cool. But for the same people who waited in line, who got up early, went to their store, put money towards this thing, and they're going to miss out, that sucks. My heart goes out to everybody for that. So I guess just let this be a lesson. I don't know. How do you solve this? Do you buy multiple ones from multiple vendors? In this case, you can't. But I will tell you that in the past, for hot ticket items, I have absolutely procured it from multiple places and canceled as it got closer because I was worrisome of that happening. This does happen quite a bit. I am picking specifically in GameStop right now, but this happens quite a bit where you do see these collector editions or these hot items, orders get canceled or delayed or whatever. And unfortunately, the supply and demand is only going to get worse as this thing comes out, as people see how cool it is, as the fans talk about it. And, good luck going back and trying to find picking on God of War again, good luck going back in time and trying to find a God of War collector edition. They don't exist. You might be able to get a statue or something secondhand, but you're not going to be able to get the original from Sony anymore. They don't make it. There's no reason. So these are all limited before they're even to come into inception. And it's just a shame. So shame on you, Capcom, for partnering with GameStop of all companies. And shame on you, GameStop, for, really doing a big disservice to people who, shockingly enough, have to put their faith in you.